not even close. So what I've learned from being in 27 countries, for example, being in Russia, learned that we actually have a lot more in common than we have different. And it sounds trite, but it's true that we actually are very well connected and have a lot that's similar and do not want to bomb each other into oblivion. But the same is true without the bombing side. Let's say if I'm in Rwanda and I'm speaking in Rwanda and talking to folks or showing a documentary there and having a conversation about their history, people want to heal. People want to survive. People want life to be good for their kids. They want their family safe. They want a roof over their head. They want food to be nutritious. They want to live a long and healthy life. And that's true whether they're from Rwanda or whether they're from West Virginia or whether they're from Canada or Mexico or wherever it might be that I've spoken. People want similar things across the board. It's just that's what I've learned. It's pretty amazing. It brings us all together.
So all the excuse me, all these countries you've been to, what's a country you've been to like you actually had a really good time, had a lot of fun, but people are like, what? You had a good time where? Are you sure about this, Greg? Like, were you on like drugs or something, Greg? Were you like drunk the whole time? There's no way you had a good time here.
Such an awesome question. It's such an awesome question. I would say that Russian people hearing that I spoke in Russia, they're like, really? Because they left Russia for some reason or another, right? That's definitely that's definitely been true. But I've had tremendously good times and have made amazing connections when I've been in Poland and Eastern Europe. And oftentimes people in the West have a bias against the East, and that's true just about everywhere. Like everywhere has a bias within its own geography of some geography and some geographical location in the country. And people in the west of Europe tend to think of people in the east of Europe as uncultured, essentially. But they're certainly not. They're fantastic. And my friends in Hungary and the connections I've made in Hungary and the connections I've made in other countries in Eastern Europe have been tremendous. Poland for me is a place that has been absolutely amazing. And over the years, I've made incredible connections and had amazing relationships and had just an amazing time in Poland again and again and again and again. So I'm going to single out Poland and Hungary as two places that people aren't saying like, oh my gosh, you were in Beirut in 1982, nothing like that. But I think that people are surprised when they hear that I've spent time in Haiti. I think that that's come up before. I mean, I've heard, when I've mentioned Rwanda and people connect it with the genocide or Uganda and they connect it with dictatorships. It's just a lack of knowledge about the countries, essentially, which is understandable. I mean, again, we're fed by the media information. What has Rwanda been in the news for in the last 30 years? Well, a genocide, a revitalization based on authoritarian government control, and an economy that is a shining light around Africa, but it comes with it a caveat or two. The point is that you know with knowledge of the countries, people learn that, oh wow, Rwanda is actually pretty interesting and pretty cool, and it's a pretty interesting place, and there's amazing people there. And likewise, Poland is the same way. If people in Western Europe think less of the East, that's their own misgiving because it's amazing. And I can tell you a funny story about Poland that I showed up on a spoken word tour. Um, and I was booked in Warsaw to speak, and I didn't realize that I had been booked at a comedy club. I thought I was performing in a coffee house, or I might have been speaking at a. I didn't remember. I don't remember where the Poland date was booked specifically, but I thought that I was speaking at a venue, and I showed up and I was booked at a comedy club. And I drive up with my I had a driver who's driving me around Europe. We drive up together. We get up to the front door, and there's these big posters. It says Greg Bennick from the United States, as if it was like Bill Burr or what I'm saying, like whoever, whatever comedian, I don't know who, people love. I mean, I'm on a Norm Macdonald kick. Rest in peace. I love the guy. Like he's just like edgy and terrible and fantastic. So I'm on a Norm Macdonald kick right now, right? Watching him or, Mitch Hedberg, some of the other just like really unusual comedians. The point is, I'm on a poster in the window of a comedy place in Warsaw. Now what do I do? Like, what does this look like?